Unboxing a new piece of gear always brings a certain thrill, but when it comes to something as iconic as a Hasselblad, the excitement is on another level. For years, I had my eyes on the first generation of the X2D camera, and although the camera had a lot going for it, there were so many frustrating issues that kept me from pulling the trigger. The autofocus was slow, the camera took ages to power on, continuous autofocus was practically useless, and the overall responsiveness didn't match the premium price tag. When you're spending this kind of money on a medium format body, you expect refinement, and the first version left a lot to be desired. Now the Mark II has finally landed, and it feels like Hasselblad listened. The new version has fixed almost all of those pain points. Autofocus is now reliable, continuous AF actually works, the touchscreen is snappy, and to top it all off, HDR is baked in from the start. It really feels like a camera that's finally polished and ready for serious photographers who care about image quality above everything else. Of course, the brand still refuses to position this as a hybrid body, so video shooters are out of luck. This is a pure stills machine, a slow and deliberate tool for those who want to create images with intention rather than capture bursts of action. Its speed and versatility are your top priorities. Cameras like Sony's A7RV or Canon's EOS R5 are better bets. Those can shoot insanely fast, handle high frame rates, and adapt to almost any situation with the right lenses. But if you're after something slower, more thoughtful, and built around the pursuit of exceptional still photographs, the Hasselblad makes sense. It's a tool for storytelling, not for rapid-fire shooting. Getting hold of one, however, is a completely different battle. Stock is scarce everywhere. I've been trying since early September, reaching out to stores across Sweden, Norway, Italy, Switzerland, the Netherlands, and Germany, only to be told the same thing. The only consistent place getting shipments is Hong Kong, and even there they sell out the moment they arrive. Pre-ordering is the only real option, and even then, you're stuck waiting at least a month. With a US trip around the corner, waiting wasn't possible, so the hunt began. After days of chasing leads, burning through Uber fares, and checking in with friends and contacts, it looked hopeless. Finally, a longtime supplier from Hong Kong came through. With his network, he managed to secure a unit ship via Shenzhen. Even though the box says handmade in Sweden, its clear parts are sourced globally, assembled, and distributed from Asia. So now the unboxing begins. Inside the package sits the elusive camera body, and this is where Hasselblad showcases its improvements. The specs boast continuous AF, HDR, 5-axis and body stabilization rated up to 10 stops, and integration with Hasselblad's Focus mobile app. The catch? That app only works on iOS, iPadOS, or macOS for now. Android users are left out, which is a frustrating limitation for anyone not in the Apple ecosystem. Alongside the body is the 55mm lens, which I chose because it's the closest match to the classic 50mm field of view on full-frame cameras. Medium format alters focal length equivalency, so a 55mm here gives you about the same look as a 43mm on full frame. For reference, 25mm translates to about 18mm, and 90mm ends up around 70. Anyone moving from Canon, Sony, Nikon, or Fujifilm's full-frame bodies will need to mentally adjust to these conversions. Hasselblad does offer a versatile 35 to 100mm f/.8 zoom, which is the closest thing to a duotall lens in their system, similar in flexibility to a 24 to 70mm on full frame. It's not cheap, but for those who don't want to juggle multiple primes, it might be the smartest option. Inside the box, there's also the charger and a single battery, which feels stingy for such an expensive camera. I immediately picked up a second one, because a single battery won't get you very far with this system. There's also a thick braided USB-C cable, which you'll actually use a lot since the camera includes a built-in 1TB SSD. This means you don't need to rely on memory cards at all, just connect directly to your computer and transfer files. It's a thoughtful touch and one of the unique features of this body. The lens packaging itself is surprisingly premium. Once you open it up, you find not only the lens but also a well-made leather case, a hood, and the usual manuals. The lens has a solid all-metal construction that feels incredibly reassuring in the hand. Switching between autofocus and manual focus is seamless, and everything about the design feels deliberate. Hasselblad also sells their own UV filters, but the prices are outrageous, so I'll stick to third-party options from Dubai or order via Amazon. The lens, like the body, comes with a 1-year warranty, though it's only valid in Hong Kong. If anything goes wrong, that's where it needs to be sent back, which isn't the most convenient arrangement. Moving on to the body itself, the first impression is its sheer presence. Compared to something like a Sony A7 RV, which feels compact and nimble, the Hasselblad is much larger and built like a precision instrument. The body is made from aerospace-grade aluminum, and the craftsmanship is obvious the moment you pick it up. It isn't overly heavy, but it feels substantial, with the kind of solidity that inspires confidence. Once the lens is mounted, the camera transforms into a tool that feels equally at home in a studio or out in the field for serious landscape work. Inside the box, there's also a power cable that fits the Australian edition, so I'll need an adapter for other regions. The included strap is the standard Hasselblad one, which works fine, though they tried to upsell me on an orange version costing several $100s. For me, the included strap is more than enough. The box also holds the manuals, warranty cards, and a few smaller accessories. Nothing extravagant, but everything is well presented. The design improvements on the Mark II are subtle but meaningful. Unlike the Mark I, this version finally includes a joystick for moving focus points, which makes a huge difference in usability. The shutter button ISO and white balance controls are intuitively placed, with additional buttons customizable for different functions. The rear display is large and fully HDR compatible, meaning you can view your images with incredible dynamic range directly on the back of the camera. The startup time is still not lightning fast, but it's noticeably better than the first version. One important thing for new owners is firmware. Before doing anything else, you need to update the body's firmware, which recently received version 1.9.2. Only after the body is updated should you update the lens firmware, since the lens has to be connected to the camera to receive its update. Trying to update both at once isn't recommended. This process is critical because the latest updates bring bug fixes and performance improvements that significantly enhance the shooting experience. When everything is set up, the Hasselblad truly feels like the Ferrari of cameras. It's not about speed, it's about precision, craftsmanship, and the pure joy of image making. Every detail, from the tactile clicks of the dials to the way the files render colors, feels purposeful. The system encourages you to slow down, compose thoughtfully, and capture scenes with the highest possible quality. It's not the right choice for sports or wildlife, but for portraits, landscapes, and fine artwork, it feels like a dream machine. The price is steep, the availability is frustrating, and the warranty limitations aren't ideal. Yet, for those who want the experience of medium format with Hasselblad's legendary color science and improved modern features, the X2D II finally delivers on the promise that the first version couldn't quite fulfill. It's a niche product, but for the right photographer, it's an inspiring one. Unboxing it after such a long chase feels like the culmination of years of waiting and watching. Every piece of the package, from the carefully packed lens to the braided USB-C cable, reinforces the sense that this is a premium tool for a very specific type of photographer. It's not for everyone, and it doesn't try to be. But for those who choose it, the Hasselblad X2D II is less a camera and more a statement about how you want to approach photography itself deliberately, carefully, and with uncompromising quality.